Hi, this is Joe Garcia from Arena Fitness, and I'm going to be talking today about, I'm going to be introducing self-myofascial release as a concept to you guys, and just kind of get you a little acquainted with what it is, how to do it, who it's for, and the various different forms of how to apply self-myofascial release. So let's go ahead and start off on what it is. Okay, self-myofascial release, or myofascial, is simply scar tissue. Self is you're applying the technique to yourself. You're not having somebody manually do it like a physical therapist would, which is possible. There are different machines that actually allow you to do a myofascial release technique where somebody applies to certain specific areas of the body that they probably want biomechanic improvement in that specific area. We're not going to be talking about that today. We're going to be talking about rolling out or self-myofascial release. Okay? So let's start off with what is it, okay, and why should I be doing it? Well, self-myofascial release simply is a correctional stretch, or a form of correctional stretching. If we want to improve or optimize our mechanics, whatever it is, whether it be shoulder mechanics, hip mechanics, knees, ankles, whatever it is, we need to apply self-myofascial release techniques. Okay? The reason self-myofascial release techniques create a better response when it comes to biomechanics versus, let's say, static stretching or active stretching is the pressure. We need pressure. We're addressing density of the muscle tissue. Okay? So give you an example. This is our muscle fiber. Okay? A lot of times throughout exercises we have injuries, we have compensations, we develop patterns of compensation, and we develop little things like knots along the muscle fiber that prevent us from that actual muscle optimizing its movement. So there's a dysfunction in the muscle, and we need to address that. A lot of times in the past, what we've done is we've gone off and we've tried to stretch the muscle. The problem with stretching, or traditional stretches where you're just sitting and holding, is it's not addressing the problem area. We need pressure to apply to that area in order to address it, so that we can come back to a traditional stretch and actually achieve good length throughout that muscle fiber. That's your kind of generic form of explaining what self-myofascial release is. There are lots of articles, there are lots of information on the internet as far as what it is. I'm not going to get too in depth in it today as far as the video is concerned. We can get really complicated into it as far as how it works and why it works, but that's your basic premise. Why am I getting on this foam roller and applying pressure and causing all this tremendous pain to my body? It's because it's going to improve your biomechanics. It's going to get you the best possible results, so that when you're in the gym and the trainer's asking you to do squats, you're feeling it in areas that you should be feeling it. If you're doing squats and you feel it in your lower back, or you feel it in your knees, there are two reasons why you're doing it. One, you're probably out of shape. Okay? The other reason is your biomechanics are not functioning right. Your mechanics of the body, and how your ankle, knee, and hip are reacting to the exercise, are not in its optimal form. So we need to make sure that the range of motion going through those joints are all optimal, and all the muscle tissues and soft tissue ligaments that are performing the movement have the best possible scenarios, so that I can perform it and feel it in areas that we want to feel it. The way we're going to do that is through self-myofascial release. Okay? Who it's for? Everybody. Athletes, non-athletes, grandmothers, grandfathers. It's for everybody. It's going to help everybody achieve optimal biomechanics. Okay? This is not something where it's for the elite athlete and not somebody that's just an everyday athlete. Okay? It is for everybody. Everybody benefits from this. I've taken people that have had lower back pain for 20 years, put them on a foam roller, and 2 weeks later they're going, wow, my back, I don't have no more lower back pain. So that's who we're going after. Okay? This is something that should be part of your daily routine. It's not something that you just do once a week. It's something that you literally do. Walk in through the door of your gym, you get your foam roller, and you're automatically rolling out. Ideally, 5 to 10 minutes. You can spend 20, 30 minutes. You can do a whole session where you're just rolling out. Okay? Time-wise, what I would suggest to clients is 5 to 10 minutes of rolling out, and then go off and do whatever warm-up, whether it be a dynamic warm-up, or a treadmill warm-up, or a rowing warm-up, whatever it is. But roll out first to address any type of compensations that your body may have. You don't want to walk in after, let's say I've got an afternoon session at 5 o'clock, I've been on the 405 for about an hour. I'm tight in my body, I'm in this seated position, so my hip flexors are tight. I'm not going to come in and warm up on the treadmill and put together more compensations or reinforce compensations that are already present in my body. I want to address the compensations first by applying self-myofascial release techniques, and then I want to do my core warm-up. Make sense? Going forward, let's talk about the different forms of self-myofascial release. Okay? There are different density foam rollers out there. I would suggest starting off with something really soft. These white foam rollers are really good for beginners. You want your pain threshold on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest amount of pain, to remain between a 6 to 8. Okay? That's going to be a good rolling out where you're going to be able to do it on a regular basis and you're not going to feel like you're going through absolute hell while you're doing it. Okay? So start off with a white foam roller. If you're really, really sensitive in your nerves, you've got really, really sensitive nerve issues like fibromyalgia or any type of neuromuscular or nervous system diseases, I would suggest doing something really soft. There are other ones that you can probably wrap a towel around something like this to make it even softer, but definitely start off with something really soft, and you might even want to think about remaining on something soft. As you get more proficient with the self-myofascial release techniques, they're going to get easier. Your body's going to adapt to it. That's where these harder surfaces come into place. There are now foam rollers that are high-density foam rollers that are really, really hard, and they last a long, long time. And these are really good once you start getting past that point where it's starting to become a little bit more bearable for you. You can also do these half foam rollers. These are just really nice to travel around. They're really nice to kind of have at the house so that they don't take up a lot of room. I have one in the house and I just kind of roll out whenever I can. And as many times as you can do it, I recommend doing it at least 3 times a day if you have the time. Okay? Whenever there's a foam roller, if you have it in the living room, it's a nice, easy thing to kind of just roll out for 5 minutes, and it's going to improve and benefit the overall training program that you have. Okay? If you're really crazy, a lot of top athletes that have a lot of high-density muscle, they have got a lot of muscle tissue that's a little difficult to kind of get into, especially all the muscles around the hip. We use PVC pipe. Okay? You can get PVC pipe anywhere at Home Depot or wherever you want in a hardware store. And I just put a little bit of tape over the edge of it just for comfort. And you can really, really get in deep with these type of harder surfaces. I don't recommend this for a beginner, and definitely use caution when you first start using it because it is painful, and if you're not used to rolling out for a long time, this can be a big deal for you. You might not want to do that too often. Okay? For shoulders and different things, even on the chest and stuff like that, we like using a lacrosse ball. And even using stuff for the piriformis, which I'll discuss in other videos. You can get in nice and deep with softer balls, like a harder ball like this. You can even start off like a softball and work yourself down even to a golf ball. We use golf balls a lot of times to roll out anybody that has like plantar fasciitis or anything like that on the foot, which is really, really good to kind of get the scar tissue. If you've developed a lot of foot problems and different things like that, you can really get in deep with a golf ball. Okay, so these are kind of a little different. There are various other forms of self-myofascial release techniques. We have a self-myofascial release stick where you can just kind of roll out and different things like that. There are tons online. Okay, find the one that's going to work best for you, but definitely think about doing it. These are definitely tools that you want in your arsenal when you're trying to get to any goal. It doesn't matter if it's weight loss or if you're an elite athlete. But self-myofascial release. Okay, 5 to 10 minutes a day. Ideally 3 times a day, but definitely do it. And we're going to be doing a video series where we're going to explain each one individually, and I hope you like it. This is Joe Garcia from Arena Fitness, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.